What is up, everyone? It is your man on fire mentor, David Mailer, coming to you live. And today we got a great topic to dive into, which is the importance of having clarity around direction and around your vision. Yes, I said it. We as men must have clarity and we must have direction around our vision. So, what the heck does that mean? Well, we all know, well, maybe we don't all know. I don't want to make assumptions here. But if you were to be the captain of a ship, or if you were to be the pilot of an airplane, and you don't plot the coordinates, you don't know the longitude, you don't know the latitude, you don't know where you're headed, you are most likely going to end up somewhere you didn't want to be, which means you have to have clarity and you have to have focus on your direction as to where you are headed. Now, the same thing could be applied to an explorer, whether it's Magellan, whether it's Columbus, whether it's Cortez. What if they didn't have clarity as to their direction? Where would they have ended up? Would the United States or would America even have been discovered? Now the question for you is this: who out there, men, I'm talking to you specifically, who out there lacks clarity and lacks direction in your life in terms of where you're headed? Because if you are the captain of a ship and you don't have the coordinates, you don't have the longitude, you don't have the latitude, in the Man on Fire world, we say playfully, but not so playfully, you will end up on an island called Skull Island, or How the Hell Did I Get Here Island. Meaning you wake up one day in your 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s, and you say, how did I get here? How did I get here in my marriage? How did I get here with my finances? Or why am I so off purpose with my deeper mission and why I was born? Why am I so far away from reaching my full potential? Why don't my kids talk to me? How did this come to be? And if we break it down to something very basic, and if you're willing as a man not to point fingers, not to name, blame, shame, judge, project, and say it's somebody else's fault, something outside of yourself, if you're willing to take radical responsibility and ownership for your own life, and I don't mean fault, I just mean you recognize that my life is where my life is in relationship to me and how I'm showing up. And if I want to have a different life, I have to become a different me. If I want the world around me to take different shape and different form, and I want to have healthier and more vibrant and more electric and extraordinary and phenomenal relationships, and I want to be dialed into my mission and my purpose, I have to take ownership that I am the creator of my life. And I have to align with the life that was designed by my soul that I signed on for with my creator, with whoever God is for you. So for those of you who don't know anything about Man on Fire, we are a personal development company, and we specialize in helping a man have mastery over his mind, because most men are stuck in their heads. Most men are enslaved or have been hijacked by the pirates in their mind. Some call it the ego. We call it the pirates, where they have taken over your ship. And you have no chance of going to this island called Pleasure Island or I Love My Life Island, because you're not in control of your own ship. So number one, we help men develop mastery over their mind. Like, take back control of your mind. Take back control of your head. Let it work for you. And most men don't know how to do that. Quite honestly, if you're honest with yourself, most of you listening, you'll say, I'm in my head. 50,000 plus thoughts per day. I can't get out of my head. It destroys relationships. It's the number one killer, because if she can't feel you, she can't trust you. If she can't trust you, she can't trust herself. If she can't open and be vulnerable and be intimate, it's over. So we got to help guys understand how to have mastery over their minds. And part of mastery over your mind is you develop focus. You develop clarity on where you're taking your life. Otherwise, you're just going where the ocean, where the sea, where it takes you. And you end up called divorce. You end up bankrupt, or you end up with a health challenge. You end up being disconnected from your mission and your purpose. There was never a vision. There was never clarity. We're totally disconnected from having that vision. So number one, Man on Fire specializes in helping you have mastery over your mind so that your thinking brain can work for you, not against you. And we also specialize in helping men up-level their masculine leadership in the different domains of a man's life, from his health to his wealth to his career to his mission and his purpose. Because a man without a mission and a man that is not on purpose is a man that feels imprisoned. So it all starts with clarity. It starts with, do you have clarity on what you truly want? Do you have a vision for what you want? And most men don't. I have literally, I say this with humility and as humble as I possibly can, I've literally had the blessing of working with over 10,000 men. And one of the questions that I will always ask a man is, what do you want? And the vagueness to the answer, or the deer in the headlights stare, is all too common. Well, I want a better job, or I want to make more money. Well, how much more money? What do you make now? What do you want to make? Why aren't you making it? Well, I want to make like 6 figures. Well, what do you mean 6 figures? That's $100,000, or that's $999,000, $999. That's a huge gap. Well, I want to have a better relationship. What does that mean? There is no clarity whatsoever. Now, part of the reason behind this, and I taught a whole program on this, and we'll make sure that we make it available to you guys again to purchase. I think it was $97, called Traction 2022, how to set up your whole life, your whole year of 2022 to be extraordinary. And it all starts with, you got to dream big, like you did when you were a kid, before people pushed down on your dreams and told you that's not possible. Man on Fire wouldn't be possible if I didn't dream big. Man on Fire obviously wouldn't have been possible without God behind me. And Man on Fire wouldn't have been possible without faith. But let me tell you something. There was a vision that created it. There was clarity that created Man on Fire. It wasn't just like, twiddle my thumbs and let's just pray it all works out. No. When your ship doesn't come in, you swim out to it. But you have to have clarity, and you have to have a vision on where you're headed. So one of the first things that we will ask a man when he joins our brotherhood in our inner chamber is, we will say, where do you see yourself in a year from now? What do you want? What would make this year an extraordinary and a phenomenal year? What would need to happen so that in a year from now, you're saying this? What would need to happen personally, professionally, financially, mission and purpose? And most men truly haven't stopped long enough to even ask themselves what they want. Most men are allowing life to dictate what they're getting, as opposed to putting a sword in the ground and claiming what you want. What is your vision for your life? When did you stop dreaming big? When did you give up on your dreams? Who took that from you? Who told you it wasn't possible? I can promise you, I had plenty of friends telling me this whole idea with Man on Fire, oh, you don't understand what's involved, you don't know anything about marketing, you don't know, blah, 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 blah. Now, maybe the majority of them meant well. Maybe some of them were threatened that if I were to rise, I'd leave them behind. I can't tell you the exact reasoning behind everybody. What I can tell you is that there's not enough people championing other people to dream big and to play big and to create clarity around the vision. Because without clarity on your vision, there is no living into that vision. That's called chance. That's called luck. That's called I hope it all works out. And we've all heard the expression that hope is not a success strategy. So, what are you guys hearing so far? For those of you that are new to meet myself, David Mailer, and to Man on Fire, welcome. I come on to many social platforms and I offer up a little bit of shares and teachings, and I share some things going on in my life, my world, and with the brothers in our community, because I want you guys to see what's possible. And also, this is a way that we give back, right? We have all sorts of coaching programs where you actually invest in yourself in one of our programs. We have our signature event called our Man on Fire Rising 4-day immersion. And then we have year-long journeys with us in our inner chamber. And For those that, are very new to us, we offer these different areas where you can have access to us, access to myself on these different social platforms, and it's totally free. And for those of you that ultimately want to take a deeper dive and you want to explore more deeply how one of our coaching programs may be able to support you, and we can start with your vision, like what do you actually want? Why don't you have it? And let's start to come up with a plan of how we can actually move you forward, help you make incremental progress so you can start moving towards your bigger vision in your life. For those of you that want to have that type of a discovery call with one of our coaches, and you're really ready for that, meaning you're hungry to grow, you're tired of being stuck, or you're tired of selling yourself short, or maybe you're killing it in business, but you don't have the same success in marriage, and you want to be able to create a more compelling vision for your marriage, and get some support with that, and maybe get some challenge and be held accountable, great. Go to our website, manonfirerising.com. It'll be posted in a link above and below, and click on the part that says Discovery Call. Apply for a discovery call. And if you are sincere and genuine about wanting to explore one of our coaching programs, and you're truly ready to invest in yourself monetarily, energetically, time-wise, then most likely you will end up being able to sign up for a call with one of our coaches, and we will see if you're the right fit for Man on Fire, and you'll see if we're the right fit for you to start moving your life towards your vision. But you got to have a vision, and that's what today's live is all about. So I am curious, how many of you consciously create your life? How many of you actually have intention behind your day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month actions? Because I will tell you, my wife and I, for example, we used to do this. I'm guilty of not doing this over the last year, but we would always on December 31st go over the entire year's goals that we laid out for each other. What do we want personally? What do we want professionally? How much money would we like to generate? How much money would we like to donate? How many times do we go visit family? How many vacations do we go on? Where do we go on? I mean, we've laid out the entire vision, total clarity on what we want. And then we review it at the end of the year on the 31st to see how close did we come to those goals. How clear were we? Did we make it clear enough where we could live into the vision? Because without the clarity and without the vision, it's not happening. And then every January 1st, although we didn't do it this past year, we are guilty. Every January 1st, we sit down and we map out the next year. So my question for you is, do you do that? Do you have a vision for your life? Well, think about the area right now where you're struggling. And I can assure you, you most likely don't have clarity on what you truly want and a vision. Well, clarity is not, I want her to trust me again. That's not clarity. That's not a vision. Well, I want my wife back. That's not clarity. That's not really a vision. That's a hope. I want rip-roaring intimacy, passion. I want to make love 4 times a week. I want her to lean on me like I'm her champion. I'm her hero. I want her to feel safe in my arms. I want her to fully trust me. I want the passion back, the intimacy back. I want to take the intimacy from a level 2 up to a level 10. I want the children to be able to witness that so it's modeled for them, right? Getting more clear, holding a bigger vision. Most of us shrink our vision, and most of us don't even have clarity on what we truly want. So my question for you right now, at this point, is do you have clarity on what you want in the different domains of your life? Maybe you do on some of them, right? Put it in the chat. Do you have clarity on your health? Well, if you're overweight, I could promise you don't have clarity and you don't have a vision. Do you have clarity and a vision for your finances, for abundance, for prosperity? If you don't, chances are you don't have clarity and you don't have a vision. Do you have clarity and a vision as it relates to your marriage, as it relates to your relationships with family, with children? And do you have that with your mission and your purpose? Put it in the chat. Give yourself 60 seconds. I am curious. I would like to learn from you, especially the areas that you feel you're struggling in right now in life, right? Because a lot of guys that find their way to Man on Fire, a lot of them are killing it in business, right? We attract a lot of business owners, but they're not having the same success in their marriage. And part of the reason is you didn't create clarity and you didn't create a vision for your marriage. So put it in the chat. I am genuinely interested in learning from you guys of where are your struggles right now, and do you really have clarity, and do you really have a vision? Now, for those of you coming on a little bit late, hello, I am David Mailer, the Man on Fire mentor, and we are talking today about the importance of having clarity and having a vision. And imagine that, pilots or captains of ships, without having the coordinates, without having the longitude and latitude, they would end up at a destination that they weren't originally planning on going to. And nobody likes ending up where they're not intending to go. And it's the same thing in our life as men. It is the same thing that we end up on Skull Island, or how the hell did I get here Island, or oh my God, I can't believe my life is turned upside down. Like, how did this happen? And I'm sharing with you guys in the most basic way to understand this, that it all starts with you have to have clarity on your vision for your life. And now look, we know there's a lot of things that would prevent you from dreaming bigger and from going after a bigger vision for your life. We all, to some degree, have some self-worth issues where we have deep-seated beliefs that we're not good enough or we're not deserving of this life. And then we're out to prove to the world, see, I told you, see, I told you. See, that success and that level of achievement and that level of happiness and that level of joy, that's meant for that guy over there. That's not meant for me. No, God's punishing me. He left me out of the grand scheme, the grand plan of things. Hey guys, that's not true. If you've been selling yourself on that lie, most likely you borrowed thinking that way, right? And I'm sure there was a lot of hurt and there was a lot of pain from childhood and different traumas and hurts and wounds that came to you in your life. But that story doesn't serve you. I mean, I want you guys to remember who you really are. We're all born with the remembrance that we're an oak tree. And we all start off as the acorn. And we have that remembrance deep down that we're here to grow. We're here to manifest and grow into our true and full potential. That's what this journey through life is. But some of us hide or stay the acorn. We don't go for it. And through the hurts and the wounds and the traumas that have come our way, and then next thing you know, we're tucking our tailbone and we're feeling unworthy or unlovable and not good enough. Maybe I'm not smart enough. And you've bought into that illusion. You've lost sight of who you are. You forgot that you're the lighthouse. You forgot that you're extraordinary. You forgot that you're phenomenal. You got to start hanging around other men that will remind you of your brilliance, that will remind you of your light, that will help you find your internal light, that inner fire that has become extinguished. Most of us have either fallen into a life of complacency where things are good, which that's very painful when things are just good, because you weren't born for good. If you've listened to any of my lives, you weren't born for great. Not even excellence. You were born for extraordinary and phenomenal. Totally different quality, totally different texture. Just like, why make 100,000 when you can make 1,000,000? Why make 1,000,000 when you can make hundreds of millions? Why settle? What stories have you sold yourself on, or been people selling to you that you forgot what's possible? As a little boy, we all dreamt big. And someone took our dreams from us. Someone took our innocence. Someone took our purity. And now you've lost sight. You have no vision. You have no clarity. So of course, life takes you where it takes you until you grab the bull by the horns. Yes, of course, there's realigning with your spirituality, realigning with God, your creator, whoever that is for you. Of course, you have to have a relationship with your creator. And of course, at some point, you got to go and face all the stuff you've been running from. That's what we have mastery of in our Man on Fire brotherhood. This is what I have mastery of. Over 25 years in the transformational and healing space, had a private office in Manhattan for over 20 years, worked with some of the top, A-list celebrities out there, helping them make sure they break into their bodies, because we're all in our heads. And if you're in your head, you've heard the expression, you're dead. It enslaves you. It lies to you. The pirates, the ego, the voice, it lies to you. It gets you to play small. It gets you to hurt yourself. It gets you to harm other people emotionally, physically. That's not who we are. So Man on Fire will teach you how to get out of your head and how to start tapping into some emotions so you have leverage for change. You can start making incremental progress in your life. Start moving forward. Start creating a compelling enough vision, worthy enough of you getting up every day with purpose. I mean, for those of you that are mad at your alarm clock, you're not on purpose. You're disconnected from your deep mission. You're off purpose with who God made you to be. You're out of alignment with your soul, which means you've lost clarity and vision of why you're here. Who can relate to that? Put it in the comments. Who could really relate to what I'm sharing? And for those of you listening and you're on purpose and you have clarity and you have a vision, good for you. You know what? Now help another man and help another brother and help another brother and help another brother, because that's what it's all about, right? You shine your light so bright like a candle is not designed to illuminate itself. And you coming into your light, you coming into the remembrance of who you are, you becoming the lighthouse. Think about how many others you can have impact on. How many others will find their way back from being lost out at sea by you finding your light and redirecting them home to their light. That's what it's all about. There's no competition in this world, in the Man on Fire world. You're in competition with bringing out the best version of you. And what we do in our brotherhood is we champion you. Our claim to fame is we will love you home to the remembrance of who you are. Why do I say it that way? Because we live in a world where men judge each other. People judge each other. We temporarily build ourselves up by trying to chop or cut other people down. That doesn't happen in this brotherhood. We're here to remind you of your brilliance. We're here to polish you, right? You're all stars. We're here to polish you. We're here to illuminate. Light that fuse. Throw more logs on the fire. Get that fire burning of remembrance of who you are. And for those of you that are ready to find their inner fire again, for those of you that are ready to find your light again and come home to the version that God created you to be, for those of you that want and are ready to create a vision worthy enough of you getting up every morning and excited to get up out of bed, and you're tired of playing small, you're tired of mediocrity in different areas of your life, whether it be your marriage or your mission and purpose or your finances, if you're ready for that, then go to our website, manonfirerising.com, and apply to speak to one of our coaches. But you got to be ready, guys. You got to be willing to invest your time, your energy, and in yourself financially, right? We have programs that obviously there's an investment. There's a financial investment in our coaching programs. Things like this are free. But there's a difference of you hearing me on a video where you're up in the stands observing the game as opposed to getting down on the field, in the trenches, and being pushed, stretched, challenged, and held accountable to the real version of yourself. That's why we invite you into one of our coaching programs, because that's where you'll get visibility. That's where you get vulnerable. That's where we'll stretch you, we'll challenge you, and we'll hold you accountable to the real version of you. If you're ready for that, then go to our link, manonfirerising.com, and apply to speak to one of our coaches by filling out an application. All right, guys. So for those of you that came on late, we covered today the importance of having clarity and having a bigger vision for our life, because most men don't have that. They kind of just go where the sea takes them, and then they wake up one day in their 40s, 50s, 60s, divorced and miserable and bankrupt, and they're like, how did I get here? And a part of the reason, very simply, is you didn't have clarity on what you truly want, and you didn't have a vision. And said differently, you didn't have a compelling enough vision, a big enough vision for your life. Somebody got you to dream small and downsize what you could achieve and what you could have and what you could accomplish in this world. Because guess what? When you grow into your true potential, everyone in your world, everyone in your life wins. Everyone. Everyone wins when you up-level. From your kids to your wife, to the family, to strangers, to coworkers, you name it. Everyone wins by you showing up as the real version of you. So my question is, are you willing to play bigger? Are you willing to put your sword in the ground and say enough? Enough of a life of mediocrity. Maybe for some of you, enough of depression and anxiety. Maybe for some of you, enough of hiding behind my successes and my accomplishments and my achievements and my money, and it's time to have that same level of success in intimacy, in my marriage, in my relationships with my children and family. Enough. Enough. Enough of dimming our light. Enough of not showing up as the man that we were born to be. Type in the chat, what are you getting from today's live? What did you receive from this? What is a big aha? What was resonating for you or aligned with your deepest truth? What truth did you birth into from being on today's live? Please type it in the chat. Smash up the like key. Please support us with the algorithms in the different social channels. Throw me some fire signs, and I will see you guys next week. As always, it is such an honor and such a privilege to be able to share time with you and be given the privilege of being a mentor to so many of you out there. With so much love and with so much gratitude, it's David Mailer, your man on fire mentor. I will see you guys next week. Bye for now, guys.